off ramps. Whoa, this thing's zippy. Oh man, it actually dives into the corners. This thing can handle the corners. And we got some good brakes on it too. Okay, I'm very impressed. All right, today we are going for a drive in a 2023 BMW M235i Gran Coupe. So this is the front wheel drive platform, all wheel drive system with the upgraded engine output of the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that BMW makes. We got 312 horsepower. We've got summer tires on this thing. So this is kind of similar to a mini platform. The 235 Gran Coupe is a 2 Series, unlike the M240s or the 230i, so it's completely different. It's its own chassis, not like the other 2 Series. It's just called a 2 Series Gran Coupe, but doesn't really match anything else on the 2 Series. Just to give you guys a look at the trunk space, I like the spoiler that the M235i comes with. Flat bottom, and you can also do this with it and toss it up for additional trunk storage. You have 2 rear seat deletes, or not deletes, but 2 rear seat levers that lower the back seats for you. This one's got the magma red interior. Take a look there. Now the driver's seat is in position, and I'm sitting in here. I'm 6 foot. I'm squished. Like my seat, my legs are right into the seat. My head is bouncing off the roof here. It's a very small sedan. It's very tight back here. There is 2 USB-C charging ports for charging. Really, this car would be like if kids are going in the back seat, no problem. But if it's always going to be adults in the back seat, maybe you should look at the 330 or the M340i. Push button start down here. Now, when BMW introduced this car back in 2021, the one thing that I liked about it was the fact that it was the first one that had illuminated trim. It started the trend for the new BMWs that we have, but this was the first model that introduced illuminated trim. Now, BMW built this because the new 3 Series got bigger. They needed something to get back down and get back down on price point. So there was a 228, and then there was the M235i, which is a sports package. And then for 2023, they stopped with the 228, and you could only get the M235i, and they didn't make a lot of them. They didn't sell very well. So for 2024, you can't even get these cars anymore. They have been discontinued for Canada, at least for our marketplace. Now I know a lot of you guys are watching in the States, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the settings. We're going to go into displays here. We're going to go into instrument panel, and we're going to put the converted speeds, so you know how fast we're going in miles per hour. So I wanted to drive this car just because it's one of the BMWs I haven't driven before. We're going to do some street driving. We're going to do some highway driving. I'll talk about the infotainment system a bit with you guys. Give it a first Excel here. Oh man, I mean, it's pretty zippy, and the exhaust sounds pretty good. We're going to do a little bit of all this different types of driving. But yeah, the one thing that I found interesting with this car is that you can't get them anymore. They made them, they didn't sell very well, and they stopped bringing them over to Canada. So we're going to take a test drive for what it was actually like, and why don't they sell enough of them. So like I said, this is a front wheel drive platform. You're going to be majority front wheel drive. Now BMW did try to put in kind of their version of a limited slip differential that differentiated the power to one wheel, so it doesn't feel like a front wheel drive biased car. It feels more like a genuine all-wheel drive car. So we'll see how well that handles. Do we feel the power in the steering wheel or not? Because that's one thing with BMWs is you don't want to feel your steering wheel power steering because of that front wheel drive layout. Now it's always going to be front wheel drive, and it's going to send power to the rear wheels when it needs to, but other than that, it's front wheel drive biased for sure. One thing I find interesting on the M235i is it has the same digital cockpit screen that you'll find on other BMW models, but it's smaller. Let's do a little rip here. Yeah, I mean, it's zippy. Gets up to the speed limit, no problem. So like I was saying, these screens are smaller, so it's not Live Cockpit Professional, but it's just a smaller version. It's matching the same one as BMW offers on the Z4. Oh my god, this suspension is stiff. I'm just over these bumps here, and we're just in comfort mode. We're not even in sport mode. No Sport Plus. But yeah, this suspension is really stiff on that. Putting in a Sport, you can hear some burbles from the exhaust when I let off the gas there. Pretty aggressive tone for this kind of car. It definitely feels small on the inside. Has these unique seats, magma leather, the M Sport seat, so it shares the seats with the Z4 as well. So you only find these seats on the 2 Series and the Z4, which the 2 Series, if you're not buying this one, this car is for sale. Thank you to Parkview BMW for providing the vehicle on this test drive. If you guys are in the Toronto marketplace looking for a BMW, make sure you guys reach out to Parkview BMW. The salesperson there will also be happy to help you guys out. Yeah, such an interesting car. So we're gonna head over to the highway. We'll get a little bit of a highway drive, a little full acceleration here for you guys. I do like the massive glass panoramic sunroof. Now when the car first came out, there was a lot of plus features over the 330i. Smaller chassis, so better price point, larger sunroof, a lot more standard features like the automatic high beams and some other features that were standard on this car. But they just, I think the problem was when BMW came out, they wanted to hit people on the lease pricing. They wanted the lease pricing to be better on this, but then when they did was they got brought it in, but it's 4.99% interest rate or 3.99% interest rate, and the 330i came in and has that 1.99. so even though this car was priced lower, the lease rates came out like $20 difference, which why would somebody take this smaller car when they can get into a 330i for almost the same price? So their intentions were good with it, but they just messed up by offering it only at a higher interest rate with no special promos. Like at the time, back 2 years ago, you could get a 3 Series for 0.99 and this car would have been 2.99. So it's like for 2% less, why would you not get the 330i? All right, so we're almost on the highway here. We're gonna do acceleration. I'm gonna slow up a bit here so we can do a full pedal accel. We're in sport mode. All right, here we go, full pedal. Got some good M Sport brakes to slow us back down as well. I could feel a little bit of that front wheel drive steering. Very, very minimal though. Ah, what a joy it is to drive on the highway. I figured that 12 o'clock, 12:30 on a Monday, the highway should be clean and free flowing, but no, I was wrong. We got traffic. Well, I guess if we're in a little bit of traffic, talk about the infotainment system. It's kind of on this like angle, pitched away from you. You have media, communication, navigation, car. It's all touchscreen or through the iDrive controller down here. I prefer the iDrive controller because you have to reach forward from this seating position in order to get there. Let's turn on the navigation for you guys so you guys have an idea of what the navigation looks like. Perfect. Parkview BMW is in a recent search. Pop that in there. Start guidance. Got a little bit of a gap here. Let's do an accel. Yeah, I mean, so when you need to, you can put your foot down and it gets going pretty quickly. It's only a 2-liter, but the car's not that heavy. So 302 horsepower, 312 horsepower, whatever it is, does some damage. It's not bad. But you can see our navigation is lit here, real-time traffic info. We also have navigation here in the gauge cluster as well. Highway's pretty much jammed up. There's not much else to show you guys. Use a little bit of the off-ramps. Whoa, this thing's zippy. Oh man, it actually dives into the corners. This thing can handle the corners. And we got some good brakes on it too. Okay, very impressed. That definitely drives better like that than a 330i. Now compared to an M235i, I don't know. I think the M235i is definitely going to win that battle there. But this one feels lighter, nimbler, diving in a little bit easier than the bigger 3 Series. So back to the infotainment system, navigation, then you go into car, you have driving information, so you have trip data, sport gauges, you see the turbo PSI on here, energy flow. When you're in eco mode, you'll also get driving style analytics to let you know how efficient are you, analysts. But we like sport. It's an M235i. You want to drive this car in sport mode. Vehicle status, oil changes, tire pressuring system. Then you can go into vehicle settings, all the main settings, general settings for your time, privacy settings, you know, all of those kind of settings are going to be in your general settings. You You have your driving modes. Like say you want to pass this person, just boom, put the pedal down. No problem. Plenty of power to pass people, but still a 2-liter, so it's still gonna be pretty fuel efficient when you're not demanding the power from the car. Exterior lighting settings, driving assistance, safety and warnings. You can also get into this menu by clicking this green button right here. Brings you into that menu. You can configure individual, lane departure warning, forward collision mitigation, active blind spot monitoring, everything there to keep you safe. Displays, instrument panel, you see where we did the converted speed before. You can change whether this map is there, or maybe you want route preview, or maybe you just want off, you just want nothing there. I mean, why give up that space when you can have the map there, in my opinion. Oh, let's jump ahead here. Save some time, save some waiting. Nice thing is this car can do that for you. A little click of the pedal and you jump forward. Doors and vehicle access. One of my favorite things is a digital key. So you can put a digital key into your cell phone, and your cell phone can be your key. You also have comfort door access with proximity locking and unlocking the vehicle. So as long as you keep your key fob in your pocket, as soon as you walk away, it locks behind you. When you put the car in park, the doors will unlock for you. It makes a sound as well. Interior lighting can be adjusted, so there's ambient lighting on this car. Right now we have it on blue. It's hard to see because there's so much light coming through, but it's in the trim like we talked about before in the beginning. And you can change through lots of different colors: bronze, orange, white, blue, green, and lilac. Also a dim for nighttime driving. Climate control, like if you want to have the remote engine start activated, it's all in there. The last one is key button settings. Doesn't do too much. Yeah, car carrying, driver profiles is a big one, and owner's manual. So yeah, once again, big shout out to Parkview BMW for letting me take this vehicle for a test drive. If you guys are interested in purchasing a BMW, make sure you guys come out to Parkview BMW, reference this video for an awesome deal. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you guys find one of these on the pre-owned market, because we don't make any of them anymore, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next POV video. Peace out. If you guys did stay to the end, I'm parked in underground, so to give you an idea for that blue ambient lighting.